lake, and I had this company called Intercon Carriers. They haul nothing but auto parts out of Mexico and out of Canada, and they want to use the yard for just an exchange yard. They're not going to, it's not their permanent location, they're just going to store new trailers there.
They're not offloading anything.
Yeah.
Maybe parking, and they're gonna pick drivers out of town.
And they call some Tupperware products, auto parts and Tupperware. So he couldn't make it today. They're originally out of the way. Their company out of the way. I got this, their website.
Would you describe the type of business they're going to do again, Ruben? They're bringing in trailers and dropping them off, and then somebody else comes and picks them up, and takes them off.
The trailers they have are in total. No flatbeds, no tankers, nothing hazardous. Just drivers.
There's nothing hazardous or hazardous waste?
No. No, it's no hazardous.
How many trailers at a time are you putting?
It takes about 15.
Everybody join in.
Happy birthday!
Does anybody have any questions?
One question, how long are you planning on doing this? Is it a consistent job, a
He
year?
wants it for a year because he's looking for it. It's just nothing but a year to turn into 2 years. Minimum notice. But he is looking for it.
Any other questions, council? If not, I need a motion on the floor. We have a motion on the floor to extend a business permit for Intercon Carriers Trucking Company, located at 7586 Highway 87 East.
I still have one.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second, Ms. Councilman Bennett? All those in favor? Unanimous decision. You have to, you know what to do. E, consider an act on Bear Metro 911 proposed budget. I think this is just formality. Susan, in the past, I believe we always voted.
I'll make a motion that we
Okay.
consider an act on the Bear Metro 911.
I have a motion on the floor to accept the Bear Metro 911 proposed budget. I have a second, Councilman Keller. Vote on any, let's vote on it. All those approved? Okay. Any opposed? Unanimous again? Item F. Consider an act to rescind or repeal the 3-year street maintenance plan previously adopted by the City Council. What we're doing in this particular request here of the council is there's basically, at this point in time, there's not enough really budget money to repair all the streets of China Grove in a 3-year period of time, which this is already, 1 year's already gone by. So what we're trying to do is reconsider, again, we're going to do all the streets in China Grove on a regular basis, but the council at a later time will come up with another plan, you know, on a timetable for these, all the streets to be done. What has happened, if I remember correctly, this goes back almost 3 years ago, we had a one-time stipend put into our budget from the city public service, and I believe it was approximately $140,000, and that was in the budget on the previous councils and mayor, and I guess they thought maybe, well, that money comes in every year. No, it does not. That was only a one-time fee that was put into that budget. So this budget for the coming year is going to be probably about I would guess, $120,000, $140,000 short in the street maintenance fund. Now, of course, the city still can act upon the monies that are available in its checking and savings accounts, which I'm sure we will act on streets. again for this coming year. But this is just to make it official, because we can't have a motion on a 3-year plan if we don't have the monies for the 3-year plan. So that's what this is about. Now, there's different ways to counteract that, council, if they ever want to consider some type of an increase in taxes for the streets, well, that is something we would take up at a later time. Okay? So, with that said, do I have a motion on the floor to rescind the 3-year plan? I have a motion on the floor, Councilman Bennett. Do I have a second? I have a second with Councilman Walensky. All those in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous decision, Susan. And again, once again, we will take this up at a later time. Item A, discuss an interlocal agreement between the city and Bear County for street maintenance projects. Glenn McCarty has done a wonderful job and has gone through a lot of turmoil on the street repair business here in China Grove. At one time, I believe it was about 2 years ago, we had an interlocal agreement with Bear County where it would eliminate the need for the city of China Grove to have to go through a whole bidding process where we would have to have the engineers check this out. So what Bear County would do would basically provide for the city, if they accept it, of course, if they would provide the Bear County Public Works Department to help in the maintaining of our streets here in China Grove. Now, this was going to be done at one time, but for some reason it stopped with the previous council. So, but anyway, I did contact the county commissioner, Tommy Calvert, and they are agreeable to listen to our proposal. I can't act on anything myself. I need council approval to do so. But all they would want information from the city would be the streets that they would want to do in any particular year and the length of the street and the possible process for the street repair of what it would need. And that's all they need. So that's just a discussion right now. So if y'all would like to proceed with the hiring or an attempt to use Bear County, I would be glad.
It would benefit us because it would take away some of the costs, is that
It would
correct?
take away all the procedures, and it would take away from the cost. In the past, it has been way cheaper than hiring out through the bidding
Well, I
process.
would think that would be a very
But-
good way to go.
But once again, an interlocal agreement does not mean that you have to use them. All we have to do is we can get the Public Works Department to give us a price on this street. And if we're not happy with that, we can move on to whatever arrangement we would like. So this is just to have them available if we need them.
I think we definitely need to check into that.
We would not have to hire an engineer, nothing prior to that. They have their own engineers.
They do have their own engineers over there.
I think it's the way to go.
But they will consult with us, if we have an engineering study. They will want to know that. Because if we do have an engineer that has specifications for them, then he would have to present that to them, and then they in turn would, give us our price, for that particular street. It's just that we're avoiding all of the bidding process. So, and all the expense that goes with the bidding process.
But we need to like another agenda to address this.
It is,
Yes, just under discussion.
it's under discussion,
Right,
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
we
we'll put it
cannot,
on the agenda maybe so we can,
sure.
continue our street repairs for the others.
But I just want you to, I had a real nice conversation with Tommy Calvert in regards to that.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Since we have, I was the first to vote on it, done away with our 3-year plan from the previous council, now we need to get started on another plan like you're doing now.
Yes, sir.
Not wait 2 years to start it again.
No, sir.
So I
It would be
agree,
a very future quick.
I agree that we can start on something so we can present that to the city so they know what's going on.
Yeah. And I think the best time to do that, Frank, would be after every council person here has had a chance to look at the budget, to study the budget, and know what you can do with that budget money. Because that's very important here. All righty, we'll move on to item G. Consider an act to rescind or repeal the council decision to authorize the consideration for the ESD to be placed on the election ballot. In my absence, past council made motions to place an ESD vote to the citizens of China Grove. And what we are doing here is going to see if we can repeal that decision, and in lieu of the decision on the citizens of China Grove voting on this matter, leave that decision up to the city council as we had done in the past. Now, for any of you that are not aware, it is in the process right now for this area. I believe this is, might correct me on anything that I might say if it's not accurate, okay? But this is the last area in Bear County that does not have an emergency service district.
Correct.
Okay?
It's actually a 200 square mile that encompasses China Grove, Harmony Fire Department, and Lone Oak Fire Department.
The city of China Grove has put into its budget over the years monies for the purchase of equipment for the China Grove Fire and Rescue. And we much appreciate what all the fire department has done. And we will continue to support our fire department in any way we can. By rescinding this decision here, what we're doing is we, the city of China Grove, would negotiate with a possible ESD, if it is formed out in the county, for our fire protection. And by doing so with the monies that we've already have allotted in our budget, it would save all the residents of the city of China Grove. And for those of you that are not aware, ESDs can range anywhere from 8 cents to 10 cents per 100. Is that correct, Mike?
Correct.
Okay. And that is a tax entity which will be added to each and every resident of the city of China Grove on your tax statement every year that you get. Now, if we rescind that and we work towards an agreement with the fire department, which we have right now, it's basically not costing the citizens anything. So once again, and on another matter, of course, most of the residents of China Grove have just received a tax, not really a tax increase from Bear County, but if you look at your Bear appraisal district lately, I think it's unanimous. Everyone in the city of China Grove has had a very, very large increase, okay? And that would add an additional, my guess is probably 10 cents, per 100 right there or more, So that's what we're trying to do here, to put the decision back into the hands of the council, rather than just a major vote amongst all the residents of the city of China Grove. Because I've always, all my years of being a mayor, councilman, I've tried to do what's best for the residents, as far as, saving them every dollar that, we possibly can, so. Does anybody have any questions on this? This is by no means, I'd like to reinforce, that this has nothing to do with being against an ESD. This is not, we're 100% for an ESD because the Bear County residents, people outside our municipality, need fire protection, and that this would greatly help them in that respect. So,
Am I allowed to ask a question?
you sure can.
Okay. We talked about this a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember, but on the phone, I thought, because I had always paid $25 a year for emergency services, but it...
That was 2-3 years ago.
Well, yeah, it was way back then, and so, it's like, well, who do I pay my $25?
Well,
Is this something different?
Yes, what the city has done in those 2-3 years, we worked out an agreement, me and the fire chief, $60,000 per year from the city taxation system to provide equipment for the fire department, because what better place, these people help us.
Right.
So, and they've never had anybody give them $60,000 a year. They would work, the fire department from years past worked on fundraisers. Martinez Hall, they'd have barbecue dinners, and they worked their butts off trying to get probably $20,000. But, and then the only other monies they get right now is basically from the county, and I believe it's $1,760 a month, if I remember correctly. So the city of China Grove we're really trying to help our fire department because it helps ourselves, of course.
But
So-
so you don't need our, I mean, you're getting this money from taxing.
This is the present right now. We're getting that from our budget, yes. If an ESD was formed, okay, in this 200 mile
200 square mile, yeah.
200 square mile area, every citizen in China Grove would have a new little tax entity called the ESD on their tax bills at the end of the year when you pay your taxes on your house. Of 8 to 10 cents per hundred, probably. You know, it could be less. So but the figures are probably pretty accurate.
So that's instead of having our own emergency services department. Is that what this ESD stands for?
An ESD stands for an Emergency Service Department, yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, because now, our fire department, of course, doesn't just call on the city of China Grove. Usually most of their calls are probably outside our city limits. So
Okay.
we've helped them quite a bit in that respect. And I hope to help them, if we can help them even more in the future, depending upon their needs.
So if we go with ESD, where is our fire station gonna be? Here?
I think Mike had said it would still be there. You should answer those questions,
Yeah.
Mike. So.
That's something I do want to address, because there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of things being said out there. If the EST passes, okay, we're still going to be here. We're contemplating possibly building another station out on 87. This EST will also be building a new station in Elmendorf. Elmendorf is going to donate land to the ESD, and we're going to build a new station out there. Because for those of you that aren't familiar, Elmendorf, the city of Elmendorf is really blown up. There's this new business came in, Alamo Junction. It's a chemical railhead. It's a huge business. And they're kind of like Toyota. When Toyota came, all these sub-businesses came in with them that do business with them, and they want to be on the same premises. So there's a lot of that going on out there. So we feel the need that when the CSD passes, we're going to need to build a new station over there. The biggest problem we're having is with manpower. Not so much here, because I've got a lot of people on my roster over here, but the other departments don't. And volunteerism is way down. We're just very blessed and fortunate that I have people still coming through the door wanting to join over here. But I work it real hard. I call the San Antonio College, they have a fire academy once a year. And all these young men and women that go through it and graduate, once they come out, they got to start getting CE hours, continuing education hours. So I called them over there and tell them, hey, make sure that you push coming over here to China Grove to join so they keep their CE hours up. That way they don't have to go, pay somewhere to get the CE hours completed or whatever. They can come do them over here or whatever. I work that to make sure that we have volunteers. We get the good trained volunteers over there. But the other departments aren't. And we're going to run into the situation because when we have these people that come out of the academy like that, they're looking for a job. And as soon as they find the job, then they're gone. I utilize them while they're here, and I help them to try to find jobs, paying jobs as a firefighter, but they move on. But again, volunteerism way down. So ultimately, we're going to be heading to where we're going to need to start paying firefighters to man the stations. Otherwise, I'm fortunate. Where I work, they allow me to leave work to run calls. My battalion chief is the owner of the company, and I guess that's why I'm fortunate, because he runs with me. They're not going to say anything to him. But to get back to where we're not going anywhere, folks. I don't care if city council says yay or nay on the ESD. I understand it's business. We are not going anywhere. We're always going to be here taking care of you people and looking out for your best interests. We have no interest in going anywhere else. Yes, we've been handed more, because I don't know if everybody knows, but we have taken over the operations of Harmony Fire Department. They had some problems, so fire marshal came to us and asked if we did. And to clarify things, they have their own money. Okay, we oversee everything that they do and all that. I have one of my battalion chiefs that was with us. I have him over there, but ultimately I oversee everything. So yes, call volume has gone way up, a lot of things gone up. But the thing is, they come over here and help us all the time also. When we need help, they come over here and they help us. So it's really a win-win for the area. Yes, we have to go over there and help them, but yes, they come over here and help us. But bottom line, folks, we are not going anywhere. We love where we're at. We love what we do. We love the people who are here that we need to service. We have built a tremendous rapport and relationship with these people because we've been doing it for so long. When we go to an incident, whatever, we know these people. They know us by name, and it helps us do our job a little bit easier because they relax because, oh, I know Chief Winfield. I know him. I know Giovanni. So they relax. So it makes our job easier. We don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize that relationship or anything. Yeah, the ESD would be great, but we're focused on taking care of business, folks. We're not politicians, we're firefighters.
So would you still be the fire chief?
And if they keep voting me in, I'm going to continue. I've been doing it for...
ESD, would you still be the fire?
Actually, what the plan is, regardless of China goes in or not, the only way that the Bexar County Commissioner will give his approval on this is basically we have to form one department with 3 stations. It'll be Harmony, Lonoc, and us. Our plan right now is I will be the chief, and I will have 3 battalion chiefs, and we'll have officers at each fire station, and I will oversee all the operations. I hope that's a good thing for you. Go ahead.
I think the question at hand right now, or the matter at hand, is whether or not we want to put this to referendum and put it on the ballot. And I think that's what's on the table now. Do we want to rescind a decision that was made by the previous council? As you can see, this is a very complicated issue. You elected us to make decisions and the best decisions for China Grove. To put something of this nature back on the ballot where people will be coming in to try to vote on something that they have very little understanding about is not very good. You have us up here. I think we ought to rescind this, put it in the hands of the council, and move on. So I would like to make a motion that we rescind the decision to authorize placing the ESP on the ballot.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor to rescind the previous council decision to authorize consideration for the ESD on the ballot. Do I have a second?
I'll take it.
I have a second from Councilman Net. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm opposed.
One opposed. Everybody else okay?
I think the issue is the citizens do not know what that stands for. It would be here with a tax, if they don't even know what it's about. That's what's very specific.
But it's a referendum, it's not gonna keep you from doing it. You just will find out how everybody else is feeling about it. I guess we just have to voice our opinions at meetings and.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that you have a break for about 10 minutes to help clean up some of this.
John, are you hungry?
Do I have a second? All right. Okay, Susan, that motion passed to rescind the... Item H, consider an act on ordinance number 150604-01, amending section 7 of the zoning ordinance number 960711, regulating the number of accessory buildings, size, and square footage of accessory buildings, exterior materials, and foundation requirements. What we're doing here, folks, is trying to make it a little bit easier. It seems complicated, but for people to come and if they want to put in a storage building in their backyard, we've had a lot of requests for metal storage buildings, and we've had some people come and ask, well, I want 2 metal storage buildings. So, but anyway, so that's what this ordinance here is about. So council, let's move on to this ordinance so we can review it.
WCN, and that allows you to have one metal, and that's the key word, I think, where we're having issues. One metal building subject to those conditions, 500 square feet or less, you don't have to have an engineered foundation plan, and you can use metal, it doesn't have to meet the 75% masonry.
Okay.
The conflict is, the zoning ordinance also says that you have a building, an accessory building, that's over 150 square feet, I think. It has to be 75% masonry, and it has to have an engineered slab. So you adopted this ordinance allowing for one metal building without those requirements, up to 500 square feet. So now what we're seeing is people in the community, some of them already have a metal building and they want another metal building. Some of them are willing to go, if you go over 500 square feet, they're okay with doing the engineer. They already have a metal building, a small storage building, so they can't have another one. You also have people that have, wood or whatever, they want to bring in a larger size than 150 without having to meet the 75% masonry and the foundation requirements. So that's what we were looking at here with this ordinance, trying to see if we can make the two more compatible or make it easier to have a larger storage building that's not metal. Also regulate the number of accessory buildings, because that's been something else that's been, brought to our attention, that there's, sometimes people, have a lot of different buildings and cover up their yard, and I guess it depends on how much land you have also makes a difference in that.
But I think in a lot of cases too, Susan, I believe it would probably eliminate the need for a lot of the citizens requesting variances
Right.
all the time, so.
So,
Because anytime we give a variance, you gotta be careful, because what you do for one, sometimes you have to do for all. So,
and the other part of that ordinance is also adding the required, a note on fencing in that section. We already require that fences be, that they can't be allowed past the front of any commercial or residential building, and you have to have a permit to get a fence. But we also need some kind of regulation on what, to use a conventional fence material. We had some fence permits that were passed.
that's it, the residents of the city
And,
before, where
yeah,
people
it's
come
like
in.
incident with the pallets. Somebody, one person approved it, and it was like a pallet fence, and that was not building material, but because a councilman approved it, gave him the permit.
That's not a conventional fence material, so now this would, the conventional fence material could be so many things. It could be cedar, it could be pine, it could be cement fiber fencing, but the key word here is conventional. So that's, would be easy then for the judge also, if a citation was ever issued, to interpret that, so.
So that's where we're at, and I worked with Glenn some on getting this together, worked with the city attorney, so we kind of left a couple of blanks in there for you all to fill in. And the current zoning ordinance allows you an accessory building over 150 square feet within established subdivisions has to be 75% masonry, except for the one metal one that you allow with this ordinance. If you go on down further, again, every residential accessory building over 150 square feet has to have an engineered slab foundation, except for the one metal one. So you might want to look at increasing that 150 square feet. I don't know, that's kind of what this is basically what this is about. Do you want to allow that or more than one metal building, or if you look further, number 6, no more than 2 accessory buildings of any size or material shall be allowed in a residential lot of less than 2 acres, excluding one detached or attached garage or carport. And total square footage of all residential accessory buildings shall not exceed 1,600 square feet on a residential lot that is less than 2 acres. That's instead of setting a limit on the size of each accessory building. Maybe they want to have 3, but if you don't go over that 1,600 square feet, you want to have 2 as long as you don't go over that, so you don't have total. Rather than limit the number of buildings you can put on there, limit the total square footage of the combined. So,
So in other words, we can choose what's in the italicized? Is that?
no, what's italicized is what's new.
stuff?
What's new?
Right.
And what is highlighted in yellow is something that you may want to increase, you may want to leave it where it's at.
I think the two questions is the square feet, how many buildings, and then the total. That's three
In
things.
the, yeah.
And I think we do need to increase 150, I'm thinking 300. And also on the total, I'm thinking maybe 1,600 is quite a bit, maybe 1,500 on it, because that's a lot for a small 3/4 acre lot.
Need some input here, Councilman. We're gonna work on this ordinance here.
And you have to keep in mind, the reason this was made the way it was, the engineered foundation is the dirt out there, the ground, you know. You need a beefed up if you're gonna have weight. The metal building doesn't have as much weight on it as maybe another exterior product would.
So, according to the ordinance, if you go out in a wood building, you still have to put it on engineer slab.
If it's 150 square feet or less, it has to be on an engineered foundation, and it has to be 75% masonry, which does include the fiber cement side of my party. That does count as fiber cement, but it doesn't, just a wood building, no, it has to be under 150 square feet to just bring in a, you know, like a prefabricated, you know, masonite siding or, you know, wood, and not have a foundation, a slab foundation certified in the masonry requirement.
Well, all I know is it's very, very expensive. Homeowner, get an engineer slab, 150 square foot building. I mean, the slab costs more than building costs. You get to a point where we have to be reasonable with this, and we can give them something they can deal with financially too. An engineer slab, it's expensive just to put a little building on it.
And another key thing that's added there, if you look at number 2, every dwelling shall have an engineered slab foundation. That's going to cover if somebody tries to put in, say, a mother-in-law suite, make it 500 square feet, or, you know, something smaller. If it's going to be used for living, it's going to have an engineered slab foundation, no matter what size it is.
So Frank, if we were to increase it to 300 square foot like Lynn had suggested, you would not need an engineered slab. Not for a small little building.
Okay, I see. I'm just looking at the cost of, you know, it's almost ridiculous to ask them to come an engineer slab for a small little building. I mean, that building, they don't last 20 years, it'll be taken away. We really want some of this stuff done, so you don't get the gasoline on your regular garages and paint, it's not there instead. Fire department doesn't call it going on.
You get that with your lawn.
You do.
Huh?
There's two. Perfect.
What are you talking
Your
about?
paint, put that there.
My painter, the painter did that. Why don't you bring it in for me?
Well, you see, I agree with Frank that we make it 450. Anything over 450 square feet would require the engineered slab and the 75% masonry, unless it is a metal building.
I think it should be
Because-
raised, you know,
Yeah.
so he came up with 300 and 450, so let's bring it together here. You know, to make it easier for the residents to go in and put in their.
Yeah.
So what do y'all, I mean, 20 by 2,400 square foot. Okay. You know what? You're a council person.
Let's shake it off.
Just to stand up and tell us to go.
Small
It's big enough to have a wall that you can put a garage door on instead of some other silly door.
Okay, y'all come up with a figure here. We'll move on. But you already have the figure.
To hear what the numbers.
I would like, I think the 400 square footage on that.
Okay, we'll look at the lot, we'll look at the lot size too. That's a pretty good fact of business, it's not, on a slab. In the residential area, you've got a quarter, 3/4 acre.
I have a 20 by 20 and it had to be an engineered slab.
We're not talking about what you had years ago, come on.
I know, but I'm just saying it was on it, 400 square feet wasn't put on an engineered slab. So you think
So
that's
400
not
above, you know, come out?
400 above? What do y'all think?
400.
That's what I think.
What do you think, man?
400. I mean, I was thinking 3, but I'll go for it.
That's a good engineer slab.
Yes, anything over 400.
Minimum or wood?
Oh, either one, so we're still not gonna have the, except.
You still have the metal, unless you wanna change that too. You have one metal, 500.
See, it's a subdivision.
I'm trying to soften
Should I have
my,
said?
not to soften my decision, because the son-in-law wants to move one in, and the guy delivering it will not deliver it, because of the ordinance. So I'm really trying to be, I can't really make a decision one way or the other, because I'll get there. So I'm just listening to you all talking.
How big is the building?
There's nothing my
It's 192 square feet.
How much?
192.
Okay. So it's bigger than this one, so I have to be cautious myself.
Right now, 50, yeah. So we're talking about, what?
I'll make a minute to vote on it back and say yes. Or make
Well, we run into a lot of problems with 150.
Well, yeah, 150 is
Go up small.
too small.
That's why I said I'd at least raise it to 300, but if y'all want to go a little higher, that's it.
So we want to do 400.
I think so. No more than 4 of them. No offense, but I just
Okay.
think that's been
400.
We don't have a height restriction, you know.
But
high.
our height restrictions in the zoning ordinance, I can't remember them exactly off the top of my head, but there are some height restrictions.
Does that change number 4 then too?
Yes,
So it's all under 400?
3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5. Yes. I think that would be a lot easier for the residents to do what they need to do. So, is that, are all the other italicized changes all right with everybody?
So maybe that 1,600, that's
You think that's a little?
like we're talking about a 3/4 acre lot.
Yeah.
That's another house.
Yeah,
Sounds like
that is.
almost, you know. That's excessive, I think.
Okay,
Well, he's
Well,
talking
I
about
think-
somebody with two. We had a variance here not too long ago where somebody requested a second metal building and it would have exceeded that.
Well,
That's the total of all accessories.
All accessories.
Like if you have 2 or 3, the total square footage of all together
Together should be
can't be over
1,600.
1,600.
So you could have 2 800 square feet.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then
or 1,000.
what if we change that wording that said less than 2 acres? I mean, yes, normally our lots are 3/4 acre lots. In triple trees, how big are your lots over there?
Mine's a little over an acre, my daughter's 2.3. Most of them about a little over an acre. You know, one guy had 4 acres.
You see, and I have 2 lots, 0.9 and 0.8, so I don't have 2 acres. But I do have, you know, on to the second one, and it still not even affect anything because of where I put it in the first place. But I'm just saying, what if we reduced it from 2 acres to like 1.5 acres or something like that, and reduced it down to like 1,200 square feet, to where it,
And that wouldn't be hurting any of that.
most of them, it shouldn't. Because
Very few people.
I think most of the people have probably an acre or right real close to an acre at least.
Now, you start doing it on 3/4 acre quite a bit.
Yeah.
Acre and a half, it is.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I like acre and a half.
Are y'all okay with that? An acre and a half, and then we're gonna reduce from 1,600 to 1,500. Well, about 1,200.
1,200.
Okay, so not to exceed 1,200 square feet.
And then 1.5 acres on number 7, Susan.
Okay. And the total square footage,
1,200.
like all the accessory buildings there.
The total cannot
Is
exceed.
everybody okay with the item number 8, the change there where we would add the terminology alternatives?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, well, with that said,
Can I say something? Susan, how is this going to affect those people, remember, that came here on our last meeting?
They're here.
Oh, there they are. Please. Okay.
Well, their issue was 2 metal buildings. That was their issue.
No, they had a lot of square footage, though, didn't you guys? Square footage.
Well, the storage was 24.
1224, what do you have now?
And now the garage, we want to get built in the back. It's going to be a 24 by 54.
But that includes the carport.
That's with the carport. It's a 20 by 30 garage with the carport. And I was going to put hard plank in the front. Keep this over here.
Sorry, we got a break.
Volunteer, John. I always thought you were serving
Susan, would the garage be considered an accessory, or that, the gentleman's asking,
It says excluding.
excluding the garage?
But is your garage a garage?
It's going to be a garage, but it's a metal building garage with a carport.
You have a garage already on your house, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
That's what the-
number 6
It would
and
be
number
accessory.
7, we have to choose one or the other. See, it says no more than 2 accessory buildings of any size or material shall be allowed on residential lot of less than 2 acres, excluding one detached or attached garage, or then the option of maybe the total square footage. You know, you could have, if you're gonna have total square footage, you're not gonna, you want just 2 buildings on there, excluding the detached garage.
So that wouldn't affect it.
You could have 2 accessory buildings.
But now, the size of the garage, nobody got to go
Well,
size.
the garage is not an accessory building. You're required with your home in China Grove to have a either attached or detached 400 square foot garage or carport, okay? So if they already have a garage or carport, okay, and it's not attached, if they have an attached one, then, you know, if it's not attached, they're allowed to have that and not count it as an accessory building in this ordinance.
What about if you can't count it as a garage then?
If he builds a second one,
If he builds
a second
a second
garage.
accessory, it's an accessory.
Call it an
building.
accessory building.
Your first one is not considered an accessory. But the one that's, if you have one built in to your home, attached to your home, that's your garage
Do
or
with the
carport.
other.
That's me.
If you have a detached one, it's not gonna count as an
Yeah,
accessory
it's gonna be
building if you
the back.
don't have an original, you know.
But you have a garage in the home now, so then that takes away his being able to count. it as-
Anything else is an accessory building.
Well, back down to square one, 2 metal buildings. That's the issue y'all discussed last month.
Right, but now we're saying here, no more than 2 accessory buildings of any size and material shall be allowed on a residential lot of less than 2 acres. Oh, shall not.
have the one accessory building on there. I want to do a second one, but the combined square footage now is going to be more than the 1,200 that we're contemplating putting in. What is your combined total?
Well, it's gonna be a 24 by 30 garage with a 24 by 24 carport.
Do we count carport as part of the structure?
So that was, and what is your first little accessory building?
A 12 by 24.
Wow.
And that is solely for like the lawnmower and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Gas.
1296. You just said 1296 square feet.
No, he's actually more than that, because he's already got one building that's 12 by 24.
Add another 12.
I just added the 24 by 30 and the 24 by 20.
24, I
It
know.
came to 1296, yeah, so we've got another one.
But now he's got another one that's 12 by 24.
But I will put hardy plank in front. I will.
Yeah, I know, but
Now, let me ask all the questions on council. This was brought to the city council last month.
yes.
So we addressed what was going on last month.
And the month before, we had people.
I think it was tabled and they were to return if your mom was on vacation, I think, or something, but we were supposed to have, we tried to meet, that's what we're trying to do for you guys. But yeah, we have to not only think about you, but the whole China Grove and what the appearance of China. We're trying to clean up communities, we really are, trying to make a difference in China Grove. And y'all have an awesome place.
That third.
12 plus 28 cents there.
What is that? You don't know?
Well, I thought it was a big.
Well, I can do it, 24 by 12.
The other building you have already is what?
12 by 24.
Okay, 288. Okay, so 288.
Yeah, sir, you have one building on your property now.
Yes, sir.
You have a house, you have a little building.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
1,584 square
Because
feet.
you only got one little building. So you only got another.
Yeah, but the problem is if we change it to a total of 1,200 square feet, then he goes over that.
What he wanted is to put a second metal building. The second building is metal.
Got two buildings.
This ordinance
They get
is.
something free.
I'm trying to correct, there's only two buildings. Our building.
2 buildings or 3?
I have one middle building, that's it, right now.
A house and a middle building.
And what do you want to build? Two metal buildings?
No, one garage
Garage with a car,
with a
So
carport.
we have one metal building, and you want to add another metal building.
With the
That's
carport.
but it's the carport that's throwing him over.
You only come up, how much?
You do it as a garage.
Yeah, the carport is part of,
It's part of
the part of the roof, the covered area
the covered area of the,
If it was-
the second building.
We're talking about 1,584 square
Square
feet.
feet. So if we left the ordinance at 1,600, then
Well,
we
the other thing is, if you don't want to count the covered area, the carport, you can word it like that, the enclosed area. Reword this ordinance to that enclosed area. And keep it lower.
And I'm also gonna put rock around the columns and half of the front.
I don't think the carport would be included. When you buy a house, it's 2,000 square feet. That doesn't count the garage. That's separate.
So Susan, if we
Leave the 1,200, take away the carport.
right, use the word enclosed,
Uh-huh.
wouldn't that be good? Enclosed space.
So let's see, that would be
We're trying to help you.
number
I know you.
6.
Thank you.
And then you have to remember, y'all won't remember because you weren't here, but he was here the last meeting and the meeting before that.
Another thing.
Williams was here with the same problem. So we need to,
Yeah.
let her know too.
Well, we can get this done tonight.
You get it
Where-
worked out.
Where's the verbiage on the enclosed?
We're just gonna have to add.
Oh, just add it to one of the, number 9? Is that what you want to do, Susan?
In that number 7,
That's
maybe?
what I was thinking.
Understood, every 100 square foot's got to be enclosed.
1,200 square foot
Of
enclosed,
enclosed.
of the enclosed area. So if you'll just add that.
Okay, so you want to close accessory building?
No, we're just talking about the carport's not going to be considered for
Part of the square
footage.
footage, only the enclosed
Only
area.
the enclosed area that's with the
We
four
gotta,
walls.
you gotta differentiate between accessory building and carport and garage. If you have a carport or garage with your house, you have one that you're required to have, it's not an accessory building. Anything past that is gonna be an accessory building, whether it's used as a garage or storage or whatever. It's an accessory to what you have already.
But again, we come back, we want two minimum buildings. And then there's-
Yeah, but
We have.
Well, then change the wording to say two metal or two,
yeah, that's on here.
Number 6.
No more than two accessory
Accessory
buildings.
building, inside, or material.
So all we gotta do is adjust the
Shall.
square footage. And if we use the word enclosed, it's to incorporate the four walls.
Yes.
We got it.
Change that to that.
If you give Mark a call, it sounds like it'll be okay.
I'm
They gotta vote on it.
Okay, basically, we're changing all 150 square feet. We're changing number 6 to read a lot of less than 1.5 acres. We're changing number 7 to read the total square footage of 1,200 square feet of enclosed area on a residential lot that is less than 1.5 acres.
I make a motion that we.
You got it.
ask John